Hey Google, turn on the lights. As you can see, I have a little bit of a problem here. Not all my lights are turned on. When I say that, there's still two lights, very important ones, that don't work. I've tried saying, hey Justin, turn on the lights. And he's getting really sick and tired of it. So, I'm going to solve this problem with some smart plugs. Alright, so now I got the lights turned on so we can take a look at not one type of smart plug, but actually two different types of smart plugs. And this one is actually going to be for a different problem. These two are going to be for the lights that I have set up for lighting my videos. This one is going to be used to solve an issue I have every time I do a live stream, and that is the fact that I almost always forget to turn off the camera itself, which just can't be good for the camera. So I'm going to be able to set this on a timer and have it automatically turn off. This way I'm not, harming my camera by leaving it on for extended periods of time. So I think we're going to get the WEMO plugs opened here first. This is a 2-pack that you can pick up at Costco at the time of filming for about $30, which is a pretty decent deal. WEMO's a pretty recognizable brand for most people that know any smart home things. Good quality brand, good reviews on these guys. Get a 2-pack here. You do have the Google Assistant, the Alexa Assistant, and even works with the Apple Home Kit for those of you that are Apple fans. You have the ability to control it either with your phone or with the Assistant. You could have it actually do scheduled ons and offs, which is where this one's going to come in handy because that has an option too. Lamps, fans, coffee makers. The one thing to note about these is it will only work on things that when you unplug it and plug it back in, it picks up where it left off. So, for example, these lights, they just have an on and off switch. When I unplug them and plug them back in, they're still in that same state. If you have something like a digital fan or a fan that has one of those remotes, it may not necessarily automatically kick back on. So, just be warned there as far as what you're using this for. So, getting this thing open, pretty simple. 2 tear strips right along the back. And pull, and we have 2 smart plugs. If I can get them out here. So we got the 2 plugs out of the box, and one thing that you will notice right off the bat is there's a button here, and that is to turn the outlet on and off manually if for some reason your Assistant isn't working, your Wi-Fi is not working, there's issues. You can physically walk up to that and actually press the button itself. So nice tactile feel to it. There's really not much to these things. There's going to be a QR code on the back, and that's going to be used for setting it up in the phone, which you will have to do. And yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and set these off to the side for now. Over here we have the Merkury Innovations smart plug. Get this opened up and just kind of see how it compares to the WEMO ones. This was actually only $10 at time of purchase from Walmart, of all places. And this has a whole lot of box for just, there's nothing else in this box. Come on, Merkury. You could do better than that. That's a waste of space there. So, $10 for one, $30 for 2, depending on what you're going for, if you have a brand preference. They're very similar devices. The button on the WEMO is actually over on the side on the Merkury Innovations switch. And I'm assuming, so this will not only control the power, but I'm assuming by maybe long pressing these, you'll be able to, reset the setup point. There are those QR codes on the back of the WEMO one, but there's no QR codes on the back of this one, of the Merkury one. So I'm going to get one plugged into each light here, just to kind of see how the setup process goes, and then we'll come back to see how it goes on the phone. I've got both plugs plugged in. I've only got one light on right now. I do have the other WEMO one here, so I have light number 1 is going to be the WEMO. Light number 2 over here is going to be the Merkury Innovations. So first things we need to do is get the app opened up here. And it is currently searching for devices. We're going to add a WEMO. Go into WEMO Smart Plugs. It is plugged in. It is ready for setup. And now I have to disconnect from my Wi-Fi, connect to the Wi-Fi directly on the light, which I feel like it shouldn't have to, but I guess we'll find out here. And so let this open up here for a second and connect to that. We're now connected to the WEMO.mini.E5C. And we can open that WEMO app up again, get rid of that, and now we have to try it again, it looks like. So it's connected to the WEMO Mini, and give it a second here. Alright, so we are going to call this light number 1. Hit next and enter email address. I'll black that out. Hit next and see what happens. Takes its time, which, I mean, it's the first time, so it's discovering nearby networks. Please wait. So now we're going to connect it to FBI van 512. Enter the password. Oh. Alright, password's been entered, attempting to connect, and let's see what happens. I will say this is kind of a longer process than I've seen with other smart devices. Attempting to connect, still working. Just kind of wait and see here. Please wait, still working, and the app has closed out on me. And alright, so light 1 did add, but it did close out on me, which is a little weird there. So turn that off. Oh, no more light on my face, and push of a button, light has reappeared. So that's plug number 1. Not bad. Pretty simple interface here. We'll go a little more into the settings. So up here there's a firmware update capability, remote access. You can select whether or not you can access it from outside of the Wi-Fi, or just leave it only on Wi-Fi capabilities. Location is optional, app info. Yeah, so I mean, nothing really much here in the settings. I guess I'm going to have to go into connect to our smart home partners, Google, and okay, so I'll have to add that into the Google Home app to make sure I get that all set. So not too bad. All right, now it's time to set up light number 2, which is the Merkury Innovations. So we're going to open up the Genie app here. Hit the plus sign in the upper right hand corner, select Smart Power, and yes, my light is blinking. Hit connect now, or connecting now. Let it go through its process. Oh, got a light little flickering on over here, so I'm wondering, that looks like it's doing something. And just kind of got to give it time. Got a little check marks popping up here, and boom. Done. I get to rename the smart plug, and we're going to title this one for now. I don't need WW104 yeah, I don't need all that. This is just light number 2. Straightforward and simple. So light 2, save, done. Alright, so now that'll populate in the Genie app here. Ooh, and it's got a new device firmware. I'll get that updated later. But yeah, in case you can't tell, there's a light going on and off right over here to my left. And yeah, nice just giant button here just to press it. Alright, so we got everything assigned in the Google Home app so that it's all assigned to the office here. And in theory, I should be able to end this video right here by simply saying, "Hey Google, turn off lights." But for some reason, that WEMO app does not recognize that as a light. The Merkury did just instantly, so I have to play around with this a little more. I need a little more lighting though. Hey Google,
It looks like
turn on lights. Everything else seems to be working. WEMO might be letting me down. Alright, so I've got both lights set up, kind of proof of concept. Now, whenever I come into the room, I just say turn on lights, and it not only turns on the ones that have always been working because they all have smart bulbs in them, but now it's going to turn on my two main lights. Now, with that other plug, I am going to swap this out to where the WEMOs are on both of these lights here, just because, I don't know, I think that's how it should be. And then I will actually be able to take the Merkury one and hook it up to this camera here and have it set on a timer that I can just turn off the camera every night at 10 p.m. This way, if for some reason I manage to forget, as usual, to turn this off of after a live stream, it'll turn itself off. Because usually I'm never on past 10 o'clock on the camera, so you know, I think that's pretty sweet how technology can improve things, like being able to turn on lights. Now I come in, sit down, and you know, just start recording after saying one command. It's pretty simple stuff. Plus, like I said, with that timer, hopefully we'll be able to save a little bit of life out of this camera here. So I want to thank everybody for checking out the video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. Either way, leave a comment down below or hit me up over on Twitter @RealGingerTech. We'll see you in the next video. Hey Google, turn off lights.